boxes for memories. Open them up and we'll set them free. There'll be bad days and some hard times, but I'll keep your secrets if you'll keep mine.
Well, this is part 2 of Love This Book vlog. This is actually episode 28, but it's the second part continuing from last week, where I focused on the story of Nehemiah from Love This Book. I focused on Nehemiah, and I also focused and introduced you to a book by my friend John Swanson called A Great Work. As I said, I was reading through Swanson's book last week, and I did finish it up this week. I hope you got a chance to at least consider purchasing A Great Work. It's a quick read, and I really encourage you to take a look, and heck, if you don't like the book, I'll buy it back from you. I know I'll find some use for it. And in addition to reading a little bit more in depth about the life of Nehemiah, and maybe even picking up A Great Work by Swanson, I challenged you to consider what your great work might be. Now let me give you a quick review. So Nehemiah had heard for generations about his family and his people who had been exiled from Jerusalem. Well, it had been generations and the exile was over, yet the city walls of Jerusalem were still in ruins. And so after months of prayer, 4 months to be exact, which is a pretty big emphasis in A Great Work, after months of prayer, Nehemiah decides that he's being called by God to rebuild the city walls of Jerusalem. Now, a quick aside. I've always put a lot of value in understanding the calling of God. But anybody who knows me knows that my calling has changed. I graduated college and thought I would teach in the schools, and that never really panned out. I spent 12 years as an arborist. Since then, I've moved on to the health and wellness industry, essentially starting a second career in the middle of my life. For 7 years, I worked in college ministry and thought that that was my calling, and I believe at the time it was. But I've moved on to men's ministry at Blackhawk Fitchburg, and so just as I've been saying through this entire vlog, this is not meant to be a teaching moment for me. This is meant to share my story, and hopefully parts of it will encourage you. I'm not here to say that you should understand your calling from God and that it'll never change, but I do believe reflecting on how God is speaking to you, how other people and the church and the Word of God is speaking to you is an important thing to consider. That being said, I really resonate with the story of Nehemiah because it's a story about having a love for people, a love for community. It's about leadership, and it's about blue-collar work that you're not really trained to do. Nehemiah was not trained to lead a crew that would build a wall. He was kind of on the inner circle of things. And in the same way with my tree care stuff, you know, I was never really equipped to do that work. And yet for 12 years of my life, it's exactly where I feel like I needed to be. So I resonate with Nehemiah's story on a couple different levels that way. Currently now in 2017, as it sits for me, I feel like my calling is twofold. I believe my great work is to help people pursue a healthy and disciplined lifestyle, and it's also to help men at Blackhawk Fitchburg grow in their faith, serve their community, and reach out to other men.
And you got mine. You got mine.
In regards to the health and fitness calling in my life, I've always been very active. I've always been a very physical person. Throughout college, I started to learn some of the science behind the human body, and I really fell in love with helping people pursue their health. I often operated on the premise that, if health were a pill, if it was something you could just take free over the counter, it's something that we would all take. It's something on some level we all desire and value. And so that's the subjective part of health and wellness. Now, the objective part is that there is a lot of science that talks about how we can get physiological and even psychological benefits. And so when I put all that together, my gifting, my experience, all led to the career that I'm on now. And it does feel like a calling and a great work to help people pursue health in their home, at work, even in the community. We need strong families. And I read a wonderful blog post one time from Spence Smith saying, we need people to pursue their health and fitness because we need you and we need you at your best. And I'm not explaining it well, but often that's my motivation too, is that for us to be, performing at our best, we need to give our health and our wellness time, money, sweat equity, so that we can be strong in ourselves, so that we can be strong for other people. We all want to be a part of a great story, and I hope that looking into the book of Nehemiah and maybe examining the narrative by John Swanson gives you an opportunity to reflect on the way God might be speaking into your life. And I hope that you can come to an understanding of the story of God and the opportunity that we have to play a small role in His big story. Thanks for watching Love This Book vlog, episode 28. We'll see you later.
Well, you're alright.